Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all doing well. Today we have got a few news stories in the world of tech. First up, we're going to be talking yet again about the RTX 3080 Ti, which has some leaked information about when we can expect an announcement for the card, a release date, as well as when you can expect the review embargoes to lift for the cards if the rumor and leak holds up to be true. Also, we've got some new ASIC miners that are going to be coming out with the power of 32 RTX 3080s, which, fingers crossed, could maybe help alleviate the need for graphics cards and Ethereum mining, which maybe could mean more graphics cards in the market for actual gamers. And also the PS5 got a firmware update, which should help improve performance. But first, today's video is brought to you by MMORC.com, where you could save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro, which you can get for just $15, as well as Office 2019 Pro and Office 365. And if you act right now, you can get an additional 27% off with my code JOK27 at checkout, and that'll knock the price down on Windows 10 Pro from $15.29 all the way down to $11.16. And of course, they accept a wide variety of payment from PayPal to credit cards to Bitcoin. So be sure to act now and hit up the links down in the description below. First up, though, let's talk about the RTX 3080 Ti, the graphics card that everyone would love to own, but will likely never be able to because of scalpers, COVID, and just limited availability all around. So, yeah, and then also miners is a thing. But hopefully our second story will maybe give us a little bit of hope. But in all likelihood, when these things do come out, not really many people are actually going to be able to get them and use them for gaming. At least here in the United States, where seemingly no e-tailers have a fucking queue system like they do overseas, which would, I don't know, only make sense if that was to become a thing. Who knows? But let's shoot over to Video Cards, who are covering the story, which originally broke over on IT Home, which is a Chinese tech website, and they were reporting it based off of a post that was put up onto the X Preview forums, which have since been taken down. So really the only way to see this is if you go on a news website like videocards.com. We can see a screen grab of the original post about the 3080 Ti, but we can't really read that as it seems to be in Chinese. I'm pretty sure that's Chinese. But we do have the information here translated for us for the RTX 3080 Ti, which says that it will be announced on May the 18th, so just a few weeks away from now, followed up by reviews going live on May the 25th, and then a release date to the public being able to purchase them the day after, May 26th, which sounds fairly typical for what NVIDIA would do, although announcements I would think would usually be maybe at least close to 2 weeks out to give reviewers at least like 10 plus days to actually be able to test these cards, as they generally don't go out to the press before the announcement, at least in my experience. But, you know, they could do something different this time. It's just not something I've experienced before. Usually they make the announcement, and then reviewers have the card like literally the next day because NVIDIA ships everything blazing fast overnight. Something I wish other hardware companies would do, but sadly they don't. NVIDIA is always on the ball, though, when it comes with like overnight shipping guaranteed next morning by 10 a.m., at least when it comes to reviewers. I'm not sure about the general public when they purchase through their website, but yeah, it sounds like we could just be getting these cards in just a couple of weeks, which is, you know, all the other rumors have kind of been pointing to anyway. It was originally supposed to maybe come out in March or April. It got pushed back to May. Now we've seen, you know, actual shipments coming from Asia over to Los Angeles, and so, of course, it's very likely that the announcement is right around the corner, and all of these dates sound to be very believable, but again, take them with a grain of salt because we really can't prove anything. It's just coming from a Chinese tech forum, and yeah, it's just some random guy with, if I assume, no credibility. I don't know anything about the guy who originally posted this, or if he's done any leaks in the past that seem to be reputable. But this is what we have for right now. So we're just going to have to take it for what it is, which is a leak / rumor. So yeah, don't read too much into it. But I expect to get these cards at some point in May, and we'll just have to wait and see on whether or not these dates hold up to be correct. But let me know down in the comments below if you're excited for the 3080 Ti, if you're actually able to purchase one. Would you pick one up, even if they were available for, like, let's say $1,000 day one, and they had a full supply available to the public for anyone that wanted to buy one? Would you actually purchase one, even though that's probably not going to happen? But, one can dream. Now, moving on to our next story, talking about a Ethereum ASIC miner, which is said to have the speed of 32 RTX 3080s, which is just mind-blowing, honestly. This is coming from Bitmain, who teased their new Antminer E9, their Ethereum miner, which is capable of doing up to 3 gigahash per second. RTX 3080 does just under about 100 megahash per second, which is already really, really fast. But, if you wanted to get 32 of those, you'd be looking at spending anywhere from $800 to $2,000 if you were going to pick them up on the aftermarket. So not really feasible to get that many cards, and even if you did, you're going to end up paying a fuck ton of money. The Antminer E9 would be a direct competitor to the Lindsay Phoenix, which costs $12,000, and that could do about 2.6 gigahash per second, but at 3,000 watts. So already very fast, but consuming a lot of power. The Antminer E9 is said to consume 2,556 watts, which is still a lot, but it's definitely better. What's it, about 20% better or so, I think, based on my head math, than the Phoenix. And then, of course, you would expect it to cost more as well. Right now, the current rumor is that it's going to be about $20,000, which, of course, sounds like a lot of money. But even if you were picking up RTX 3080s for, let's say on a good day, maybe you can get them for $1,000 a piece, that's still going to end up costing you $32,000 to get 32 of them, which would match the speed of the Antminer E9. So $20,000 for someone that's going to be using these to mine all day and night at a better efficiency on mining compared to its competitor, the $12,000 Lindsay Phoenix. $20,000 is a bit of a deal for these types of people that want to get these. Now, why am I talking about this? Of course, none of you are going to go out and buy one of these things, but my hope is that with more of these coming into the market, more ASIC miners capable of handling Ethereum at such large rates, it could possibly help alleviate the graphics card market, and then maybe we wouldn't have to deal with miners as much. Maybe then we'd only have to deal with scalpers, which, would maybe be an improvement, I guess. Still not, the best case scenario, but, it could possibly help a little bit, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on that. Just like everything, we got to wait and see. We're just talking about the news here, rumors, leaks, speculation. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Last up, something that is actually concrete and firm, pun intended, as the PS5 got a firmware update today, kind of out of nowhere in the past hour or two, which is said to improve system performance. Very vague. That's the only patch note that we got from Sony. As you can see right here, I've got it highlighted. This update it says that this system software update improves system performance. That's literally it. That's all it says. You can kind of read into that, really into anything. There was a performance update back shortly after the system came out, like the days after it came out, it got a performance update. And then recently it also got a pretty big, really the first big update ever since the system came out. And there were some things that people found in that weren't really mentioned in the update that kind of helped with backwards compatibility on the DualSense controller and improving vibration on older PS4 games in backwards compatibility mode. So yeah, we really don't know what this performance update is meant to do. Is it going to improve load times, just the system UI performance? Is it going to improve efficiency? Is it actually going to boost the frame rates in games? We really just don't know until an outlet actually goes out there and tests something I'm not really capable of doing. I don't have a setup capable of benchmarking frame rates on a console, even though I would love to be able to do that. It just sounds like a whole hell of a lot of work and something I just don't really have the knowledge base to do, because Digital Foundry will basically be your guys for that. If you are curious to see if this update actually improves game performance, I am hoping that Digital Foundry covers this. I would love to see them go back and benchmark some titles, backwards compatible titles, as well as PS5 titles as well, and maybe test on the previous version of the firmware versus the new version of the firmware. I think that would be cool to see, and see if it's actually improved the game performance in any way, so we can kind of delve into exactly what Sony has done here with the PS5 update. And then, of course, I'm sure gamers will start to notice things and report them over on Reddit, and maybe we can get some confirmation in the coming days and weeks, because I would just like some clarification on what this update does. Of course, you know, not trying to be cynical, anything that's going to improve performance is a good thing at the end of the day. Just for my own peace of mind, I would like to know what it did so I can maybe notice it or, you know, take a look at it myself. But that's really all I've got for you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Please let me know your thoughts, opinions, comments, as always, down below on the news stories that we covered here. Leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. And I'll catch you tomorrow for another video. Ta-ra.